Today's lesson we're going to look at one of the circle theorems, that is the angle in the semicircle is a right angle. Okay, so if we have a circle and that is the center of the circle, if we draw a diameter, so a diameter is a line that goes from one side of the circle to the other side but passes through the diameter, then no matter which triangle we draw, this angle will always be a right angle. Okay, so let's do some questions. So in each of these questions, O is the center of the circle. So you can see that each of these lines is a diameter. So that tells us straight away that that angle there, x, is 90 degrees. So x is equal to 90 degrees. So to find y, well, the angles of a triangle add up to 180. If you know this is 90, then these two must also add up to 90. If that's 68, then this must be 22 degrees. So y is 22 degrees. Question B, again, this is the diameter of the circle, passes through the center, so therefore x must be 90 degrees. It's a right angle. Therefore, these two angles must add up to 90 also. So if this is 36, then y is going to be 54 degrees. Question C, again, this is a diameter, passes through the center, therefore x is 90 degrees. Therefore, in order to find y, we must add y plus 27 to make 90, and so that gives us 63 degrees. Question D, again, it's a diameter because it passes through the center of the circle, therefore x is 90 degrees. Therefore, y plus 49 must add up to 90. So y must be 41 degrees. Okay, question E, again, it passes through the center of the circle. So this is a diameter. That means that x is 90 degrees. And so therefore y plus 38 must be 90 degrees. So that gives us 52 degrees. And question F, again, it's a diameter passing through the center of the circle, therefore x must be 90 degrees. Now in this case, we're told that this is an isosceles triangle. That's what those two lines mean. Those two angles are the same size. So therefore y and z must add up to 90, and they must be the same, so they're both 45 degrees. Okay, here again we're given that this is a diameter and it passes through the center of the circle, so we know that that must be 90 degrees. So therefore we know that these two angles must add up to 90 degrees, and we're trying to find the value of x. So we know that x plus 15 plus x plus 5 must equal 90 degrees. That gives us 2x plus 20 is equal to 90 degrees. Subtracting 20 from both sides, 2x is equal to 70, so x is equal to 35 degrees. This question here now, this is a diameter as it passes through the center of the circle, and therefore we know that this is 90 degrees, so the other two angles must also add up to 90 degrees. So we form an equation which we're going to solve. X plus 3x, we're adding like terms, so 4x, and then 32 minus 6 is plus 26, and that gives us 90 degrees. If we subtract 26 from both sides, so that gives us 64, and then divide by 4, and x is 16. Okay, in this question here, we're being asked to work out the length of x. Now we know that this is a diameter, passing through the center of the circle. Therefore, this is 90 degrees. Therefore, we have a right angled triangle, so we can actually use Pythagoras. X is the shorter side, 8 is that side there, and this is 10. So we can use Pythagoras, which says that x squared plus 8 squared is equal to 10 squared. That's x squared plus 64 is equal to 100. That gives us x squared is subtracting 64 from both sides, 36. X is equal to 6. Now we could have actually noticed that this was essentially a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. We've just doubled each of the lengths, so that was actually 6 and that was 8 there. So we could have recognized that was a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. Okay, in this final question, we've been asked to figure out the size of angle X. Now, again, we notice it's a right angle triangle because that there is the diameter passing through the center. So we could just draw that again, actually. That's 66 centimeters. That's the hypotenuse, and we've been asked to find X. So compared to this angle, if we write down SOHCAHTOA, then we can see compared to the angle we have the side that's opposite and we have the hypotenuse, and that means we're going to use sine. So the sine of X is equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse. Use the calculator for this unless you happen to remember that when that ratio is 1/2, the angle is in fact 30 degrees.